This is the Park family home. It's located in a small village called Yugu. Mr. Kim lives there with his wife and 4 kids. It's the 1980s, and by then, the war was distant memory to almost everyone. Mr. Kim works in a small company outside Yugu. He barely makes enough money to feed his family, and is also never home. In terms of health insurance, the family only benefits from Mr. Kim's employer, because they can afford private insurance. Mr. Kim believes the system is unfair, because he spends a higher percentage of his income on healthcare, yet he receives worse care than rich people. It's unfair, yes, but that is how the healthcare system was back then. Mr. Kim was diagnosed with cancer, and there was nothing the doctors could do because they didn't have enough resources. They could only delay the inevitable. After his death, the family lost their source of income as well as the medical insurance, which was tied to his job. This wasn't an isolated incident. Many people in the countryside could not get treatment near them and had to move to big cities. The eldest child, Lee, grew up and moved to the city where he works as a clerk. His medical insurance is now covered by the NHIC system. He pays a small proportion of his wages, and he does not risk financial ruin in the process. Lee and his pregnant wife live with his mother to take care of her. He's expecting his wife to go into labor any minute now, and the whole house is filled with anticipation. The delivery was successful. They had a beautiful baby girl, and there wasn't any major issues thanks to the improved healthcare facilities. Unfortunately, Lee couldn't witness the delivery because he wasn't able to get time off from work. The healthcare system was much better after the reform in 2000. Most of the working class now had affordable health insurance. Not only that, but the government even expanded the program to include self-employed people, like carpenters. The youngest son, Choi, is unemployed. He suffers from depression because of his economic status. The problem is made even worse by the fact that mental health treatment isn't covered by insurance. And he isn't alone in this. A large percentage of the South Korean youth are suffering from mental illness, in part due to economic inequality. Choi, like many others, was stuck in a crushing cycle, until finally, he attempted suicide. There was nothing left for him in this world. He was in debt that he would never be able to repay, and his job paid nothing. All he wanted to do was die. Except he didn't, miraculously. He now had a chronic disease because of the fall, and he did receive some mental health treatment, but it was essentially in vain, since he had more debt. Choi isn't just an individual. Suicide rates in South Korea are very high compared to the rest of the world, and the system not only fails to help them, but it makes it harder for them. The system that was initially made to remove inequality was now making it worse, and hereby killing a lot of innocent people.